I thought it was a gameplay reveal. Most of this is fucking just them talking.
Asmongold, you sweet summer child. Dialogue is the gameplay in a Bioware game. Like Yahtzee said back in 2012.
What would a Bioware RPG be without dialogues? I remember hearing somewhere that Dragon Age contains 9 novels worth of text.
Alright, so we're doing a little video about the official gameplay trailer. We couldn't resist. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. The Veilguard. And as this is predominantly a Dragon Age channel, Mary and I decided to react a little bit because the reactions on YouTube have been quite negative, most notably with Asmongold saying his video titled, "Who is this game made for?" And I think we have an answer. But first, let's talk about first impressions. Mary, what did you think about this gameplay reveal trailer?
The gameplay reveal was better than the trailer that they dropped, I guess, like Sunday or Saturday. The trailer looked a little bit more cartoony to me than I feel like the trailer did. And my overall impression is just that it looked pretty, which is a lot of what I want out of a Bioware Dragon Age game. Which I know there's some OGs out there who'll be like, Origins was bloody. And I'm like, yeah, if we had gone the Doom route and this was Resident Evil Dragon Age, I would totally be down for playing that game too. It would just be a different game and I'd expect different things of it. But that's just not what BioWare does. And that has changed over a long time. So going back and looking at like, Origins and being like, oh, but it was so bloody. Yeah, but that ship sailed decades ago.
I totally agree. The trailer was great. I'm looking forward to playing this game.
Well, okay, so I will say, I think that they're kind of going for more, like, there's been Arcane, there's been their little anime, show, and I think that's kind of the vibe they're going for. They want you to feel like an anime-esque character in this fantastic, pretty, sparkly world, and yes, please, thank you. Like, sure, do I also want to play games like Baldur's Gate and, like, new Resident Evil games and... what else? Like Elden Ring? Sure, I want those games to exist too, but also I would love a game that allows me to be an anime character. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, so let's answer this question. So Asmongold's video was entitled, "Who is this game made for?" And a lot of these same people commenting on YouTube about how the combat looks action-y and all this stuff. The game is not about the combat. There's the most people who are bemoaning the loss of the Dragon Age Origins type are these like old school neckbeard D&D strategy types who really liked Origins pause and give orders to people combat.
You mean
and
like
they
you?
play like me. Like I have been this way before.
You're currently playing Warhammer 3.
Shh, quiet. Anyway, so But so Asmongold said this game doesn't pass the vibe check. Okay, well, let me tell you who this game is for. This game is not for neckbeards who will play through it once to, like, beat it, right?
Or who want to just play it 5 times on increasing difficulties for a challenge.
Yes, that's not it. Dragon Age, BioWare games have become comfort games, okay? People play Dragon Age and and we're not talking about Anthem, of course. Dragon Age and Mass Effect once a year, every year for 10 years, maybe twice a year.
He's
right?
talking about me.
I'm talking about me. I'm also talking about me. I will play through the now Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but before that, I would play through all 3 Mass Effects straight through. Come home, play through, And that's something people do. And it's not for the combat. It's not for the challenge. It's for revisiting the story that you love, the characters that you love. And so the people who are complaining on YouTube don't realize that there is a massive fan base of Dragon Age, of BioWare games that will do things like buy a Garrus Vicarian body pillow on the BioWare gear store because they are so into the story and characters and they just want to relive it. It's like rereading an old book that you love.
Yeah. And I will say that there used to be a Liara body pillow pillowcase, but
Yeah.
that one sold out real fast.
Yeah.
So it's not just girls before you jump to that conclusion.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my grunt body pillow
Yeah, right.
to arrive. So
It needs to be like a grunt throw, so you can just put it over your whole couch. Yeah, I would agree. People, so we have this weird like group of games that we call like novels, right? We call them novel games or whatever, right? What's the term I'm looking for?
visual novels.
Yeah, they're like visual novels. So like things like Life is Strange, right? But in playing Life is Strange, I feel like I'm influencing that character. I'm watching that character's story. They're more like a character in a book, and they're doing whatever. They're very separate from me. Whereas when you play a Bioware game, what they're trying to give you is this feeling that you are this hero. They're
Yeah.
trying to immerse you so hard in being this character. They work very hard at making you feel like you're the hero of Ferelden, or you're the champion of Kirkwall, or you're the Inquisitor, and now you're going to be the Rook, right? So, like, they want you to identify very strongly with your own character. And they want you, I mean, I swear, I feel like BioWare has perfected the art of the NPC parasocial relationship, right? But that's what they want you to have. They want you to have this whole little world where you've had this whole experience and you feel like an anime badass and you've formed all of these relationships with all of these characters. And what's really important for that is making you feel like you've just won something every time you go into a fight. So the combat can't disappear. Like, so in Life is Strange, you don't feel like you're doing lots of things. You're just kind of like influencing the choices that that character made. Whereas in a BioWare game, you're shooting things. You feel victorious at the end of a battle. You've worked hard to like
You
liberate
learn new
something.
abilities.
Yeah, they want you to have that kind of satisfaction of being a super badass that requires you to be going through the combat and doing things. But that's the combat is there to help you immerse yourself in the character so that the story is better and more enveloping, which is also, I think, plays into what you were talking about. You know, it is a comfort game, right? I go through and play, you know, through all the Dragon Age series, through the Mass Effect series, the original trilogy, you know, often.
Yeah. So here's, I've watched Asmongold for years, and this is exactly the opposite of him, but so this is sort of informing him that this exists. You hate playing Rogue in Dragon Age Origins. You hate it.
Yes.
But you will play it. You will suffer through playing the Rogue, meaning you have a worse combat experience than you would like, because it fits better with the story that you want to happen.
Yes.
Because it's just, that's the way it fits. So you would sacrifice the combat for the story you want to happen. And that is, it's not just living someone else's stories, but in BioWare games, traditionally you make these choices that have real effects. Like in Dragon Age Origins, you decide who becomes king. If you're a chick, you can become queen. There's all kinds of little choices like that have effects throughout the entirety of the series that makes it, you know, no other game studio does that, as far as I know.
Well.
You know, between games, you know, they'll do it in a one game, but like have a decision you made in game 1 to affect game 3 in a meaningful way, that is unique to BioWare. So people will play these as comfort. They will they'll play through it again to do something different, right? They'll play through all 3 to like, okay, well, what if I make these choices? Mm-hmm. So it's this replayable game that people go back to for comfort. It's a cozy. It's become a cozy game, and it's not Origins anymore. And that's just, sorry, them's the breaks. You know, go play Elden Ring if you want that. You know, where there's no relationships and there's no characters, and the characters' mouths don't even move, and they're not even animated half the time. You know, there's no characters, and you know, something like that.
Yeah.
All these roguelikes, but
I don't think it really hits the vibe check, man. I don't.
It does pass the vibe check for a whole lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I go to AO3 and I want you to pull up all of the fan fiction for Mass Effect and Dragon Age and just start reading, because
Yeah.
boy howdy, you'll be there a
No
while.
one's writing Elden Ring fan fiction
Oh, I don't
that
know.
has
I don't know.
romantic. Well,
I don't
okay,
know.
that's true. Rule 34, but yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, but so here's what I'm curious about, and I will start with my biggest fear about this game. It has nothing to do with the combat. It has nothing to do with, as I'm sure someone on YouTube or Reddit or somewhere in the interwebs, they'll be upset that characters are whatever version of player sexual that they are, or that one character comes across too straight and or gay, whatever, right? Like, I'm not afraid about any of that. That's bog standard Bioware at this point.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
That's like saying winter is coming. That's going to happen on the internet. Yeah.
Right. What my biggest fear is that they will do something to fuck with the continuity between games.
Yes.
Because Queen Honora is listed in the credits on IMDb, and I swear to God, if that bitch that I exiled shows up in my game, I will rage quit.
As queen. What if she shows up as an exile?
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But
Yeah.
they have her listed as Queen Honora, and bitch, I'm queen.
Yeah. In your headcanon.
That will
yes.
literally shatter the continuity of the previous 3 games for me.
Yeah.
If she shows up as Queen as Ferelden. Or Queen of Anywhere, honestly, because she was basically a war criminal at the end, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check it when I'm doing my playthrough. But
Well, okay, I feel like I've heard Asmongold even say this before, that he's used the term headcanon before, I think. I want to think that I believe that headcanon became, like, that term came from Bioware games.
well, headcanon is mostly referring to, like, the things that you have to tell yourself to justify what happens in the game. Not necessarily what happened in the game. So, like, as somebody who regularly romances Garrus in Mass Effect, everyone either chooses to not address it or to headcanon how exactly that works.
Yeah. So
We
you
don't
have,
know. It's not in the game. You got to figure it out for yourself, and nobody wants to
Yes.
know your version.
Okay,
Unless
so-
they're on AO3.
So here is my point, is that no one has Elden Ring headcanon. No one has World of Warcraft even headcanon. It's just like the story is presented to you,
Yeah.
of if there is one.
Yeah,
So like
the
every
headcanon-
Mass Effect and Dragon Age player has their own little version of the game
Yes.
that they play.
The
And
headcanon makes
yeah.
it even more personal.
Yeah.
So literally, because we know how many options there are, I can go through and like Google everything about whichever game I'm playing and plan it out to the nth degree. But
Yeah.
my actual lived experience in that game doing that particular kind of choices will differ in how I've read it. People will go through and they'll get different vibes off of different like characters. So like some people see Sarah as very annoying from Inquisition. Some people think she's just traumatized. Other people are like, no, she's manipulative. Like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? And there's no right answer. And they don't make you, like, if they haven't made you know something, then you're free to come up with your own version. So it's all the gray areas in between.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there.
No, you have to tell me.
No?
What's your top thing that you're worried about? What do you think?
Oh, the top thing I'm worried about? I've always thought that the class system in Dragon Age was lame. Rogue, Warrior, Mage. In Origins, they did do a little bit of stuff where you could learn, you had to meet someone who was that class, like an extension of Rogue, for example, was a duelist.
Where you
which,
meet
like,
Isabella.
Yeah, you have to learn to be a duelist. I've always thought just the Rogue Mage warrior thing was just a little old. Even Mass Effect has like 4 or 5 classes or 6 in some of the games where it's like they're different.
Yeah.
So I would want to see more classes. As far as fear, I don't know. I feel like the characters were pretty good in Inquisition, but a lot of the like missions were kind of convoluted. If they could sort of streamline those, then I think that would be better. But yeah, that would be, I guess, my wish list.
How about you wish nobody pauses for upwards of 15 seconds waiting for somebody to interrupt them?
Yeah, that really bothers me in Inquisition, and even in 2 it was better. So I don't know what they did, but
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So are we gonna buy it? We're gonna pre-order it. Are we gonna simp hard for Bioware?
I mean, yes.
Even after we got burned by Starfield, every time I get optimistic about a game, I'm like, but Starfield existed. And
Yeah, I'm looking at my Starfield Xbox controller that I purchased right here. You bought it for me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a mark of shame that I have it, but I don't know. It's fun to get excited about games, you know. And it's very easy to go around being a negative Nancy and be like, this is how the world is falling. This is the end of BioWare.
Okay.
It's the end of BioWare.
Best worst case scenario. I hope that if they blow it interestingly, because Starfield was the biggest. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't even fun to make fun of.
Yeah. Yes.
At least if they're gonna make it bad in a fun way, right? Like,
yeah. Well, I just hope it doesn't go full on Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like they're trying to build. Like it has I like the anime feel it's got now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge anime fan, but I like it's a different kind of weird world. We're seeing Tevinter that we've never really seen before. And it's cool.
You know, now that you say that, I know all the OG fans are like, it's not gritty enough. But you know what we've had a crap ton of recently is gritty AF games. You know what would be a nice difference is not.
Yeah. I like this kind of game. Every game has to be this game that I like. And it has to be like that.
Okay,
or
Trump.
it's stupid.
Okay, Trump.
Or it's stupid. I was being a neckbeard, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Dragon Age will be fantastic. It'll be the best game. Everyone says so. No.
All right, go away.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other crap.